Namaste to all of you. See, the idea is calling for this meeting is our small, medium, micro and medium enterprises are going through severe pain. While the government at the top level is making certain announcements, on the ground, it doesn't seem to be percolating. So the distress of MSME is very, very hard and real. So we thought we'll brainstorm today, and finally, it's not a discussion among us, but then ultimately we need to produce a paper, a document, a recommendation to the government on urgent steps they need to take. Not that they are not aware, but then they are probably not sensitive. When some of our Karyakartas approached the top brass in the ministry, the response seems to be that it's just a matter of 20-day lockdown. Why are you making such a fuss about it? They seem to be very insensitive to the kind of disruption that has happened. Not just the logistics and the cash flow challenges that we have a lifestyle challenge. People's lifestyles have changed. So unless a significant amount of support to the industry is given, we will probably see 30-40% of MSMEs shutting down, closing down permanently. That would be a massive loss of jobs. Even if a big corporation, Jet Airways or something else closes down.
hundreds.
I'll just meet you, Vidyasagarji, before you talk here. So even a big company like Jet Airways closes, it doesn't affect, they could be spread over the rest of the airlines. But once a whole segment is affected, to replace them is not that easy. Skill sets are not so readily available, and to shift from one skill set to another is tough. So on top of it, the government's insensitivity is adding the pain. The biggest problem here is liquidity. They're saying they infused 1,70,000 crores and repo rate has been reduced, but the banks are simply refusing to give money. So come what may, they think that if any money is given now, it is as good as dead investment. Money will not come back. So why take the risk? They seem to be completely insensitive to it. Laghu Udyog Bharati has made several representations, and they have found out that things are still not happening the way it should. They have specific suggestions which they have made. We'll listen to Vidyasagar ji. He will list out what are the pain points that they have already identified, and they have sent it to some people across. If there are other points that any of you want to suggest, please feel free to add or maybe give your additional inputs in some of these points itself. So we can comprehensively come out with a document to not just give it to the government, but we will also send it to the political leadership and also to our Sangh seniors also. We will send this to everybody. So we sensitize them of the hard realities of what is happening at the ground level. That's the idea. So let us come out with a workable, presentable document at the end of this call. That is the purpose of this call today. So Vidyasagar ji, please, you can take over, sir.
Thank you, Girdhar Garu, and thanks, friends. As Mr. Girdhar mentioned, we have made several representations to central government and other concerned governments. But as of now, nothing worthwhile has come to MSMEs except a sort of eyewash of not many banks not charging the interest which should have paid in the month of March, which normally we pay on 31st March. As of now, okay, 30th April also interest is not charged. It goes without saying that when the company is not working, how you can pay the fixed costs, particularly which are coming after all the expenditures which are above the line. Okay? Now, wages also, we are having hundreds of debates. Nobody is coming to the rescue of the companies. That what should be the strategy or what should be the action of MSMEs. We all know MSMEs constitute more than 70% to the GDP in the country. They bridge between the small and bigger units. And then it gives the highest employment, not only in India and globally also. Precisely for this reason, Laghu Udyog Bharati was commissioned or formed in the year 1994, and this year we are celebrating 26th year. Unfortunately, what happened? We never came across this kind of situation where Laghu Udyog Bharati has gone to Government of India to support in these kind of situations. We never faced this. But majority of the things which have been accepted of Laghu Udyog Bharati's recommendations were few during budgets like GST and other things, but that was done for the overall industry. But as it is micro and small units, of course, we have various schemes with SIDBI and other organizations, but those are all hand to mouth. Those are all first generation entrepreneurs. See, Laghu Udyog Bharati in the last 26 years has been serving micro and small units in a grand way, and then today we have hundreds and thousands of units registered or as members of Laghu Udyog Bharati. Now, after 26 years, this is a time where we are asking government that allow us to survive. Just allow us to survive. We have heard Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Finance Minister and Chief Minister also stating that a lot of support is going to LUBs, MSMEs. We have also heard RBI governor stating that so many lakh of crores has been given to banks. As Mr. Girdhar said, the repo rate and then the CRR has been reduced, wherein banks will have additional money. But banks now feel that even if we have additional money to lend, it's our own money, so they don't want to risk it. So what's happening? Particularly, none of the private banks are coming to the rescue of MSMEs. So the bottom line after 45 days is we have nothing. No MSME has got anything except that last month's interest and this month's interest has not been debited to the account, which is fair, which is human. So by not debiting that on the parallelly, you are asking us to pay the wages. We are not against workmen, we need them, they are part of the company. They are part of the human, they are part of the capital for the company. We definitely call them as human capital. They are needed, they are required. Nobody need to tell us that, we need to pay wages to them. Nobody need to tell, on the humanitarian grounds and as a professional organization and as being used, we have been using them, we have been working with them, they have been supporting the company. Nobody need to tell that, we need to pay the salary. And with on the very, very headlines and bold remarks, everybody is talking, why you should not, lay off the people. Yes, before you, we agree. We know that we should not lay off the people because we need them, number one. And number two, you should pay the salary. Yes, we should pay the salary. That's the basic thing an entrepreneur or the company has to pay. But you are not supporting. See, none of the companies are getting their payments. We don't get credits into our account. It's a sort of a stalemate. It's a lockdown. You are not able to go out of the house. And now you expect us to make these payments, including power bill. I know some cases in Telangana, the lines have been disconnected and again connected after a lot of puzzle. So these things are only on to the media, which is happening. And I am sorry, none of the things are being really taken seriously with MSMEs. And we need to be little more, I wouldn't say sensitized. See, if there is definitely something, we have a small hole in the pocket now. In case you're not stitching it now, it becomes more bigger and then the whole industry may collapse. Why people are not understanding at this point of time? Maybe they thought 21st we would have opened, and then if we had given money 20 days back or 40 days back, we would have used for something else. Maybe we thought, once the lockdown is open, they would give good money for our operations. But that's okay. No, now today we need to pay salaries, we need to pay power, we need to pay various other things. And on top of it, we need monies for next 6 or 8 months for our operations. Nothing is happening. So as Mr. Girdhar again said, we have sent more than 5 representations to the central government. And I believe LUB in all the states have sent the similar representations, but nothing is acting there. I really don't know. Maybe government wants to support these units after the lifting of the lockdown, or after we close down, you try to reopen, you want to put some grease on the wheels once we get rusted. I really don't know these things, but we have to we don't have, we have to come to one page and one voice and see that none of the micro and small units are closed for want of money or for want of something, some support, particularly during this COVID period. We all agree that, we definitely agree that last 2 years has not been great. We have been talking to the, as LUB also, we have been talking to the finance ministry that last 2 years we had very bad economy. See, on top of it, COVID has come. Now today, if I go and ask anything for COVID, we are told that, COVID is only 1 month old. I don't believe. If COVID is 1 month old, operations are affected from February, because top level people were not traveling during February also because of COVID reason. And that is one. And then huge inventories are stuck. Orders of big companies, or orders of almost all the companies, we don't know. We bought raw material, we paid salaries, we paid power, we kept everything ready. The whole inventory is in the form of WIP, finish, or raw material. We are paying interest on it. That interest you said you waived off. You have not waived off. You just said you pay after June. So what is that we got it? I just want to know what MSMEs have got from this government. Extremely clear. Are they deliberately holding to reopen, or are they deliberately holding that we wealth creators, we employment generators have no right in this country to continue working, or see, they just want whom to get benefited out of this. But I'm telling, after talking for 45 days, in addition to last 2 years telling that industry is very bad, this government has to take a firm step now. Otherwise, it will be a disaster. And one more thing, one most important thing is, we all know that all the multinationals in Europe and US are wanting to shift from other countries to India. You are not ready. Your infrastructure is not ready. Your banker is not ready. Where from? See, let us take today as what China was 30 years. Why don't we be self-reliant? Why don't we stop imports? Why don't we really put pressure on things and then start exporting to Western countries? Who is stopping? I have seen I have seen many products which are being exported from Thailand, Vietnam, and all other countries. Now, since I'm talking about Vietnam, hundreds of companies from Europe and the US have gone and settled in Vietnam for a simple reason, that the government is more proactive and more sensitive. That's all. So today, I would summarize this. We need to survive, sustain, go to normalcy, and grow in 2 years. Number one. Number two, we cannot allow any unit to close on account of COVID. Number two, and we need the government to come to the support. Otherwise, we need to really come to one common platform and take it extremely seriously, because millions of people will be on the roads. Or see, tomorrow, one important thing, Girdharji, if you are not helping now, you have to write off all the loans after 1 year.
Yeah, that's true.
If you are not helping 100 rupees, if you are not helping another 20 rupees on the 100 rupees, you need to forego the 100 rupees also. Why are you not understanding that?
Yeah.
So, you are all, sorry, last summary. You are all experts. You are all experts.
Vijaysagar ji, what I suggest
we don't,
is,
yeah, so we don't.
When you're actually talking about the banking points, I think what you're going to talk about, the pain of not giving, can come out. Maybe when you're listing down the points that you have raised in your letter, if you can talk those specific points.
I'm coming to that. No, I'm coming to that. Oh, sorry.
So what happens is then whatever you're now saying is actually relevant at that point. How insensitive the bank is will come out from the point that you raised.
Girdharji, I told all these things because we were glued to the television. So many top people talking, and everybody, my workers may be thinking here, my neighbors may be thinking that I'm getting money.
True, very true. 1,70,000 has come.
Yeah, everybody is thinking. My creditors are thinking that I got money.
Yeah, true.
So I have to tell this that nothing has come. Number one. Okay. Now to be precise, what we asked is 25% ad hoc on the limits sanctioned and utilized by all units to be repaid in 3 years with a 6 years moratorium, and a reasonable waiver by the banks during the closure period. This is the most important thing. I'll repeat it. 25% as a ad hoc limit on the existing sanction limit to be repaid in 36 months with a 6 months moratorium. And during the lockdown period, government has to take care of the interest. I cannot pay interest from my pocket. This is very clear, number one. And number two, we are also asking that one-time restructuring of all the companies have to be done. So I'm not telling the bankers to waive. One-time restructuring of the loans outstanding of all MSMEs to be restructured by at least 1 year. Take same interest, or or some concessional interest that government has to take care. But 1 year moratorium, 6 months moratorium, and one-time restructuring is required. This is what we have requested with the government. One more other thing is any renewals by the banks should be by default during this time, and no bank charges have to be applied. No renewal charges have to be applied to the bank, to the units. This is another point we have asked them. So one is that ad hoc limit. Second is one-time restructuring, and third thing is auto renewal of all the limits without charging the bank charges. These three things. Now, fourth important point, Girdhar Garu, is there are no receipts by many companies. So LCs and bank guarantees are getting devolved. So this cannot be taken seriously. This has to be taken with the right spirit and as a cause of COVID. And then they have to help the companies and should not have a grudge or should not have some antagonizing nature on against the units. So these are the things we told them. As far as wages is concerned, we requested that we use some money from ESI and then pay to the workers, which is yet to, no decision has been taken. These two. So other things, it is a cascading effect. We don't know when we start and when the whole country will be reopened. And then, because even if I open partially, what is happening? Supply chain in and out, and my customer should be open or my vendor should be open. He may be in red zone. So partial opening cannot be construed as full opening. And then, don't tell us that, you started on 5th of May and then, finish, you should, I'm expecting you to make money or break even. So with this, I end and then I can take things from you, Mr. Girdhar.
Yeah, I think, see, the point is they have partially announced that 33% staff can work in some zones and all they have announced. So how many units really practically will be able to run with that? I don't know. Let's say you have a, cloth manufacturing company. You need 3 people to hold a certain thing and do it. And you are expecting only one person to come and hold it. It doesn't fly. Some of the industries, I think this 33% may not even work. You need a certain amount of staff which may not work. I don't know. I'm not sure on what basis this 33% has arrived at. Is it just that social distancing, or I don't know how they arrived at? There seems to be not much of a thought in that particular decision. How does LUB or your units think about it? Would you be able to really do this kind of a thing where 33% capacity you will be able to do some work?
Of course, we can start, but the problem is for various other requirements of mine. One is 33%. What they are telling is you need to. There are a lot of restrictions. There are a lot of conditions on that. People have to stay within the company. Have you seen? Have you seen many companies where people are staying within the company?
No, it's not
How
possible.
How can they ask you? How can they ask you that Baba, you keep the people in the company and make work? Where is the infrastructure inside? And we are talking about micro and small. Okay, if large corporations are having some guest houses and all that, that's okay. But today when you are putting a condition point there, kindly think that you are talking regarding micro and small, where that guy himself cannot stay the owner cannot stay in the building.
True.
And you are expecting the workers to be there. Number one. Now 33%, as you said, they have their own knowledge. What is the definition of 33%? I really don't know. Because for me, more than 33%, supply chain in and out, and other resources have to come to my doorstep. Whether one of my stakeholders, whether he is a supplier or my customer, he may be in red zone, he may be in another state. I don't know. I don't know his problems. So 33% is most stupidity and irrelevant in this context. For me,
Can we add that in our representation, saying 33% does not work for micro and small enterprises. It may work for medium and large enterprises.
What is your opinion on that? What do you think?
Yeah, I feel that the micro and small units should be left with the option of either to open or not to open.
Not to open is a, see, if I were, if it is
And
in
if
my
it not
hands,
open, if they're given an option not to open, then the governmental support also should be proportional.
Girdhar Garu, according to me, it should not open, but it may not suit all the units, number one. Number two, some units have to be opened for medical and other reasons. Okay, some food products, food units have to be opened, but engineering industry should be left to them. But this 33% and all that, these conditions, I don't believe that actually. They have to be slightly more relaxed. They have to relax on certain conditions like travel by buses, or, they say in one car, only 2 people have to sit, and in one bus, so many people have to sit. There, they have to support. Their government has to support. If some unit is opening, government has to support in logistics if that unit wants to run. But left to the owner or the small entrepreneur, he'll not be able to do that.
Yeah. So can we add some point on that as well when we are redrafting this thing? I think we will give a recommendation on this 33% also.
33% will be, of course, you can work with 33%, as I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the criteria for.
Well, that's not true for all the units, right? Some units will work, some may not be able to work.
Girdhar Garu, in isolation, how can we work? We are depending on this. Also, we are not in jungle. We are not doing something in jungle. We are in the industrial estate. We need our neighbor to support us. But okay, even per se, if we are overcoming that, okay, if 33%, that should be left to the organization, number one, 33 or 40 or whatever it is, number one. Logistic support or logistic relaxations have to be given by the government.
Yeah.
Things which may not really suit, relaxations have to be given. But with that relaxations, if they feel that COVID will be spreading, then the call has to be taken by the government.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll unmute everybody, and I request each of you to mute your mic after I unmute. And if you want to talk, you please raise your hand and talk so that we don't have a noise pollution. I'm just unmuting everybody. So whoever has a noise disturbance, you may
on the
mute it at your end itself.
On the pair central key.
Can
On the pair
Yeah, yes, madam.
No,
yes,
on the pair central on the pair no. Now word a word on the pair.
There is a lot of crosstalk. I think somebody needs to. Sandeep ji, please mute it at your end. Sandeep ji, okay, I'll mute him. Sandeep ji, I'll mute him. Yeah, please.
Yeah, we were discussing about auto renewal of limits during this particular period. That is one which had to be included. And another thing is the drawing power has to be calculated on soft terms so that the working capital limits are not reduced during this period. The second point. And third one that we were thinking is a concern is lot of MSMEs might not be having, or let us say micro, might not be having bank limits. Thereby, they will not be able to avail this, the assistance that the government is providing. So how do we address that? That is another point. And one last point in the financial assistance was Mr. Vidyasagar was suggesting that we are asking for 25%. So maybe for the 15%, the government or the RBI guarantees the bank, whereby they are able to extend that or pass it on as a refinance to the MSMEs. That was one. And I had one point regarding the 33% manpower. Sir. When the process has to be integrated, sometimes this 33% doesn't work.
True.
Number one. Number two is the manpower or the workforce that is employed. Sometimes it happens that you cannot do without that particular operator. Then how do we do it? So this is one point that I had to add.
Yeah, I think this whole 33% wala seems to have brilliance seems to have come saying balance will sit at work from home. How can they work from home when the unit is completely
the manufacturing setup?
The manufacturing sector, how will it happen? I mean, I don't know. I mean, these guys, I don't know on what basis they came up with this kind of thing. I really
Yeah.
don't know.
So
I think
these
they
were
need to
the
be
points that I had to add.
service sector which is dependent on call centers or something. Yeah, you work from home, I can understand. But for manufacturing, I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I think that's an issue. Yes, I agree with you. We need to relook at that.
These were the points that I had to add. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? I think I've unmuted all of you. You can unmute and then speak yourself. Srikanji, you wanted to talk.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good afternoon. And I wanted to reiterate the same point which Anita madam just spoke. In fact, I had been telling this in many meetings now, that bankers should not consider taking the drawing power while allowing us to operate our limits. So, sir, some disturbance, sir.
Yeah, I think Sandeep ji. Okay.
Yeah. So, in fact, our banker, he said that 10% of the working capital has been sanctioned as COVID-19. You can apply for that. I have applied. Then he said, yeah, it has been sanctioned, but you make sure that your working capital drawing power limits are in place. I told him, how is it possible? The last 2 months, I have not been doing anything. All my bills are out of cover period, and I am not receiving monies. I am not buying anything. I am neither selling anything or producing anything. So that they have to do away for some time, at least 3 to 6 months, they have to do away with the concept of drawing power, because nobody will have the drawing power. I have the limit.
Srikanth garu, drawing power naturally will not come when your stocks are more than 90 days, when your receivables are more than 90 days. So, Danki, we are asking a total relaxation of DP. I forgot to mention 2 things. One is, like Anita said, we are asking government to fund banks because none of the private banks want to lose their money or they don't want to risk their money. We are asking because Germany has invested 20% of their GDP into the banks, 20% of the GDP into their banks to support all the industry. We are asking the next amount, which is hardly coming to 2%. 25% which we are talking is only coming to 2% of the overall credit to the MSMEs. So government has to, number one, as Srikanth Adutunnaru, DP should not be the criteria for release of money and number one. Number two, till normalcy comes. Number two, government has to guarantee or pay the banks to give this 25% to MSMEs, and that's it. Otherwise, no bank is coming forward. These 2 points I forgot to tell. These 2 points are equally important, and this paves the way for the banks to take a decision.
Can we suggest like how US President Donald Trump did a direct transfer to the corporations? Can we suggest some part of this 1,70,000 crores to directly come to the units instead of routing through the bank?
Sir, Girdhar garu, double eto say and double ravalante director na bank through anna. The point is, first of all, government has.
What I suggested is, it will come to your bank account, not through the bank's discretion. I'm saying your limits and your whatever your facilities you have with the bank, they are not touched. Independent of that, certain amount, certain percentage of money directly comes into your account.
Yeah. Sir, that's a good idea, Andy. We can ask, but how does the government know what is the limit you have? So they have to take the list from the banks and send it to us.
That they can. I mean, depending on your GST filing or depending on some other parameter. I mean, we can fix that parameters. That's not an issue.
Depends on your kindly
returns, depends on your GST returns.
Sir, Andy, this I'll tell you, Girdhar garu, you should understand one thing, please. You are asking government to give directly into your account. I think people have to unmute.
Yeah, they're all unmuted. I have unmuted. If anybody wants to talk, they can talk. I think Vijay wants to talk.
Girdhar, see, no. This directly giving money to the accounts. Then see here, what is happening? We are asking ad hoc to be paid in 36 months. So how do you repay to the government? So there may be a small technical issue there.
It's to the banking system only. Fine. Instead of
fine then.
What the government is doing is it is doing the job of a banker. Instead of the banker getting into that, first as an immediate emergency measure, the government will transfer into your account. That money is subject to the overall banking support that you will get later on.
Fine, and okay, what I'll do is some of our representation మీకు పంపిస్తాను. We both will have one-to-one call, and then we'll add and remove certain things, and then we'll send it.
Yeah, Vijay, you can unmute.
So there are two more points which I wanted to say, sir.
Sure.
Srikanth here. So
Yeah,
one more thing is, regarding the labor aspect, 33% won't work for labor intensive units, and especially micro and small law.
Yeah,
Our
correct.
unit is labor intensive. What we do is we have regular employees, and during the season we do seasonal business. We do fertilizer. So during the season time, we hire temporary labor. Now, apart from, and the temporary labor is not on the rolls of the company, is only there for some time. So any kind of identity which we give to a temporary labor, saying that is only there on a short-term basis, even they should be allowed to come. I don't know how many of them are available today to come and work, but for a labor-intensive industry, and that was a seasonal one, every day matters. Actually, I have lost out on April completely. Now, May, I don't know where I stand. My active season is till August, where I do about 80% of my turnover for the entire year. Now, better part of it is lost, then my unit is in doldrums. It is nowhere. So at least on these labor movement and all, the government should be more proactive. And fertilizer comes under an essential commodity. It is governed by the Essential Commodity Act. So for essential items, they should not put any restrictions. Otherwise, the industry will perish. This was one more point I wanted to
but
inform, sir.
Yeah,
Srikanth, whatever we do,
Srikanth garu,
ultimately we should also be sensitive that if they let go a large gathering of labor, it could result in pandemic spreading. That sensitivity we need to have. Now, how do you address that?
That's what, while maintaining the distance, you spread the work. You allow them to spread the work into different zones so that there's no cluster of people in the same place. That can be done.
Okay. So can you write up a suggestion on this, how that can be done?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe if you could send us something like that, that will help us.
Right. I'll do that.
Right.
Yeah, that's it, sir. For now, if I come across anything
so
again,
one thing, Girdhar garu, timeline is most important, Andy. And one more thing is, when is the
Vijay,
COVID
you unmute
ending?
yourself, please. Yeah.
Time is most important. Timeline is important, number one. Number two, most important thing is everything has a relevance to the total startup of the economy because ivala edo manamu we are talking about 5th or 7th of May. It may go up to July also. So that time they should not say we have given you 1 rupee that time and then you should use that. So cascading effect has to be taken into account till we are opening. This is very important. We don't know, it can take for 3, for 6, 9 months. We really don't know. So we have to keep this in mind.
Yeah, and one area we have completely forgotten is, what about those verticals in industry which are going to have a longer recovery period, like for instance your eateries, okay, or event management, something to do with where you're managing large number of people, that kind of a stuff. What's going to happen to them? All those industries associated with them, for instance, marriage related or something like that. You can't allow large gatherings. So all those industries are going to go down. You will have a massive labor loss in that. So
I think,
how do we handle that? At least your unit is manufacturing something. What will happen to the MSMEs where it is dependent on large gathering? All those people are going to take a major hit.
Girdhar garu,
how do we handle that?
Yeah, see, it's a good thing. In addition to the industry which you said, even real estate also might be in a big problem. Of course, we are not discussing that now.
Construction industry.
It will be in doldrums.
Yeah.
But when that is in doldrums, all the related industry like cement,
True.
steel, aluminium, all these things will have
hardware.
Everything will be affected. So avanni kuda long term. See, we have to segmentize, Andy. We'll have to segmentize, and then it is for the industry, CII or LUB to check up which unit needs what, and I think we'll have to have 3 or 4 segments and look at what is the gestation period for turnaround.
is it possible that LUB team, you can request your team to assign each vertical to each of your team member, and they can come out with some kind of a write-up on that?
No, I'm really sorry. Don't get me wrong. ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ రూపాయి ఇవ్వట్లేదు. అప్పుడు ఎప్పుడో 1 year తర్వాత ఏమవుతుందో వాళ్ళు ఏం మాట్లాడుతారండి ఇప్పుడు.
సరే, అంతవరకు అనట్లేదు సార్, ఇప్పుడే అడుగుతున్నాను నేను ఏమంటానంటే ఇప్పుడే immediately వాళ్ళని let them come out with what is their view of it.
No, Girdhar garu, that is the reason I put a blanket or open-ended statement stating that whatever you are going to do, it should be pragmatically thought and mapped after the complete opening of lockdown and post-COVID. Again, next point would be which industry needs what has to be clearly ani oka sentence rayala kada. See, because today we cannot talk. Nenu 1 year tarvata em matlada vaad ippude today they are not coming to our rescue. They are coming on Zooms and all that. They are telling, okay, you take my email ID, you send it antunnaru, adi ekkada elthunదో teliyadu. So that long thing, definitely I put it in the growth and all that. That long thing, let us put it as one para stating that once lockdown is there, individual recognition has to be given for different segments of industry. Pedam adi.
Okay, let's see. Vijay, you wanted to say something. Vijay, please.
Yeah, see, extending your point with respect to segment-wise problem in industry-related issues in liquidating the inventory, liquidating the receivables. If we have those statistics, we can come out with a set of scheme of finance for those industry verticals. Like, for example, if receivables is a very long-term, liquidation of receivables is a long-term process. Let government take those receivables and fund those particular industries which has those long-term realization period. But that is one point. The second point is, the government can say all the receivables and the inventory will be 100% funded now, and with a cap of 1 year moratorium, and that will be like a term loan. They will going to fund and then give them liquidity so that the industry can run forward with that kind of money available to them. But the only thing is we need to have industry-wise segment statistics in terms of, this is the problem in this industry. Receivables is a problem. In this industry, inventory liquidation is a problem. If we can come out with, a scheme of how many months it takes to get realizations for one industry, how many months it takes for liquidation of inventories in other industry, all these things, if we can go with kind of a data to the government, we can suggest different scheme of finance through banks guaranteed by the government, because the government is already saying it is infused. We can get a government order to have this specific scheme of finance for these industries, and this has to be done ASAP, immediately. So for that, Laghu Udyog Bharati has to do a research and come out with a detailed segment-wise analysis of which area the industry has a problem, and that will solve even your payment of workers, electricity bills and things like that. This is what I feel. Thank you.
See, Vijay garu, more or less whatever we have asked, like when we are asking not to consider the drawing power, that means that they have to fund the inventory which is lying with you for next 1 year, whether it is bought in 2018 or 19 or 20, I don't know. So when we are doing away with the DP norms, drawing power norms, one part of your question is answered. Number two, post also, while asking, that was our last point with Mr. Girdhar. We'll definitely talk about that a due recognition has to be given. That's when these things are liquidated, whether it is receivable or anything. One serious thing, Andy, I hope I am finished, and you also finished your point, Mr. Vijay. Hello?
Vijay, you muted yourself.
Sorry, Andy, I couldn't get మీరు ఏమన్నారు?
నేనేమన్నానంటే, we were talking about inventory, or we were talking about current assets. Okay, we are asking them not to have a big DP related issues in current assets, and continue to recognize the current assets with us as valid current assets without telling that they are obsolete or they are more than 90 days or 180 days. That should be done away. So that will answer your question. Maybe
No,
1
sir,
year.
I'm not saying that. Please understand my point. What I'm
Okay.
saying is, see, outside Europe and US, they had something called debt securitization. They take
Okay.
your receivables and fund it. So I am looking at a similar kind of option for an MSME sector. Let them fund your receivables. Let them fund your inventories. I'm not going into a loop of your OD, CC, working capital. No, I'm not saying that. This is a peculiar situation that the industry is running. So what I'm saying is, if you identify the problems of liquidity in terms of industrial segments, where if receivables is an issue in certain industries, let them fund the entire receivables with a 1-year moratorium and with a reasonable rate of interest. Because the government has already infused funds into the bank, they have to issue a direct order to the bank to execute that. Otherwise, bank will not act. No matter how much ever you crib or we crib, the banks will be in deaf ears. That is because each of the managers PF is linked to the default, so they don't take any action because they don't want any bad remarks for their which will hamper their retirement benefits. So if this is the way the banking system is operating, we need to come out with some kind of innovative solutions. Something like, if each of the industry has the list of receivables and list of inventories as on 31st March, let the government take a guarantee and fund all those, ask the bank to issue the direct funding like how they do for term loans. Let them do it, irrespective of, your CC, OD, all that, you forget about it. Let them fund it so that, that amount will be available to the industry for running at least 6 months post-COVID period. Then, industry people, they don't keep the money idle and they will return it and then repay back. That's what I'm saying. So we need to come up with a concrete plan in terms of industry wise. Okay, this segment has this issue in liquidity. This segment has this issue with the liquidity. So if we have that statistics, our plea to the government will be much more clear and they can understand it clearly and they can come out with a policy document and issue to the bank, and bank has to act according to that GO order. Instead of giving a blanket order which banks will not follow, we need to get a specific order from the government to the banks to do it. And this kind of funding should not get, if it is defaulted, should not hamper the respective managers' retirement benefits. That should be very clearly mentioned. Then the banks are going to fund to the industry. This is where the mute point is. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a valid point, but today we don't have time to do such a detailed study. The money is needed now. So what we could probably recommend is, we could say that, receivables may be considered as whatever, 50-60% of the receivables may straight away be given or something like that. We need to talk in terms of a generalization today. And like what you suggested, probably instructions going to the bank directly, asking them to not penalize this on the staff. Staff is a bottleneck. They don't want to take any risk. There's a risk aversion in the staff. So probably something like that we need to think about. Yeah, let's see. Mohandas sir, you wanted to talk something. Yeah, you let unmute at your end, sir. Yeah, you can talk now. Yeah.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
No, Sri Vidyasagar ji said the right thing. He said there are two basic issues. One is survival, other is sustenance. So I would suggest that we should prepare a detailed representation showing three things. One is the immediate relief, that is the liquidity crunch, which the SME sector is facing, and some of the suggestions we have already made by some of the honest members. I think they are very relevant and that can be included. Some of the innovative suggestions, they can also be incorporated. Another thing is, in another 1 month or 1.5 months, once the lockdown is over, the units have to be sustained. And if these units are to be sustained, the linkages with the suppliers and the customers, all these things are to be properly revived. And you require working capital and other support facilities. So those things are to be listed as part 2. Then number 3, we have to have a long-term perspective plan, because the second part will go from 6 months to 1 year. But the long run, we have got to have a large number of advantages, because production may probably shift to India, and the linkages are to be provided, capital has to be provided, innovative systems of finance has to be provided. So there should be a detailed package for the promotion of SMEs in the new emerging scenario, in the post-corona scenario. So that should be a long-term plan. That should be a very comprehensive plan. So of course, you can give it subsequently, but 1 and 2, we have to give immediately. This is my suggestion.
Sir,
Yeah.
the biggest problem here is, sir, government
one
is saying something, but the banks are not listening. The problem is the banker in your locality where you are running the SME account, that guy is risk averse, because his retirement benefits are linked to it. RBI is doing repo rate, government is pumping in money, but that fellow is reluctant to do it. That is our problem. Our problem is in the last mile. It is not in the policy, or these are all nice to hear, but when it comes to the unit, they are not getting the money from the bank.
The government and the RBI has to interfere.
Yeah, and they are not interfering. That is the problem. That is the pain that all these people have. Neither the government nor the RBI is interfering in the decision of the branch manager. Branch manager is literally the king there. This is what the units are actually suffering today.
Girdhar Garu, the last point of Mr. Mohandas, that we have a lot of emerging opportunities and all that. We are, as Laghu Udyog Bharati, we are asked to submit documents and papers of what we have started importing from China and other countries, stopping the production here, and also that we have already started. We started sending papers, things which were produced here and have stopped now, with cheaper imports from China, they stopped. That is one category of products. Second is, how can we indigenize many of the products which we can do? We have to be self-reliant, and we have to start exporting. The lot of work, in fact, during the lockdown period, I am in contact with many secretaries in Delhi. They are focusing more on post-lockdown, how to turn around the situation as quickly as possible, and how to fill the gap of exports for Western countries from India. There was always a gap, risk management. Europe and American companies always wanted to come to India, but last 25, 30 years, I'm personally associated with many companies last 30 years. So they were coming here, they were signing papers, they were forming the companies, then they left. Everybody's going to, so now government has to check up why they left. The point here is why the companies have not come all these years. Why only Vietnam? It's just like, why they have to go to Vietnam? Why they can't come here? What are the minuses here? These things we are working very seriously, Mr. Mohandas, and we'll work very seriously that India becomes a net exporter. That is what, is the endeavor of the industry, but government has to support on this. So, because small countries, Thailand is exporting a lot of things. Why so many things? Even Bangladesh is becoming very strong in government exports. So where are we? We tell that, we have so many things. So this is an eye opener now. This is a time that, we first, but to go to your level, Mr. Mohandas, we have to survive now. So we will do all those things. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Raghu, you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, because continuing your point, like when we have to become an exporter, okay, or we stand in competition with China, there are a lot of things that the local industry and the management should actually do a lot of changes that they have to make. For instance, how much of R&D we do from our industry side, okay, and the kind of pressure that we are going to come up with this product, Okay, all those things, the skills
Can
that are
you
required.
come
for
closer to
that.
the mic? Raghu, can you come closer to the mic?
రఘు గారు మీ చాలా ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది వాయిస్, అసలు క్లియర్ లేదు.
Echo అవుతుంది. You need to come closer to the mic. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Slightly better.
Yeah. So there's from Babu itself, okay, I think we should come up with another policy, okay, like every industry should, have such a kind of a budget for their, training programs, okay, improvisation of R&D, or, collective R&D, okay, maybe the same line, but taking different products, but R&D can be for both of the products. I think we have to do these kind of things. If you have to come up with some kind of a strategy or a plan or something, a group, okay, wherein it should be guiding the industry, some of it personal and also management and also the industry you are required. Something that we have to get right. Okay, that is not here in India. So all these things should be looked at. Otherwise, the kind of news what we are hearing that the industries and MSME will be distributor and but it will go all fruitless. That's my
Okay, Andy. So much of it has been taken, and then we'll follow up with a complete document to the government, and then let us see it goes in 2-3 days.
Sir, one more point I wanted to add, sir.
Yeah. Srikanth ji, చెప్పండి.
Sir, ఇప్పుడు for all MSMEs, wherever government payments are pending as of 31st March 2020,
that we need to add.
That have to be cleared, Andy. That will help a lot of.
No, I think we can recommend. You ask them 100%, they will not pay. We should say 75%, 80%, 90%, or whatever it is.
No,
subject to the final bill clearance or something like that.
Dues which are legitimate, which are, let us say, more than 6 months old, let us say, outstanding for more than 6 months, they have to be cleared in total only for MSMEs by state governments.
If the bill is passed.
Yes. See,
so what I'm saying is even for those which are in pipeline,
right,
a certain percentage has to be
paid. Agreed.
That is what I'm saying. What is cleared has to be paid immediately.
Yes, sir.
What is not cleared, a certain percentage has to be paid. I think Vidyasagar ji will add that also in our recommendation. And Subramanian garu, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Like the public offering, I'll come to the point straight. Like the public offering which is running on a riskometer, we can quickly introduce the riskometer and enable the branch officers and other credit appraisal officers to sanction the loans based on the riskometer, and so that they'll be absolved. They'll not be responsible for the risk that they have taken. So this is one thing. And secondly, all the goods which are inspected should be paid immediately, irrespective of the terms of the contract for MSMEs. Is another submission which I would like to make, sir.
Yeah, I think Vidyasagar ji, you have factored that, right?
Yeah, everything is done already.
Yeah, we have factored that, Subramanian. We factored that. Inventory has to be cleared. I mean, it's part of that. We did that. But our pain point is the percolation is not happening at the bank level. It is not happening. The ministry is not that sensitive. That is where we have a problem. They are thinking it's just a 20-day disruption. But whereas the lifestyle disruption has happened, and this disruption, even if the lockdown is lifted, it will go on for another 4 or 5 months. That sensitization is not happening. That is our bigger concern.
That 4 or 5 months, if you survive.
Yeah, if you survive. Yeah.
If you survive.
The ministry has to issue a circular to all the banks that their managers will not be penalized for any loans go bad subsequent to this COVID-19 crisis.
No, Vijay garu.
That's what I said, risk factor, sir.
No. Vijay, this point is well taken, and we are asking government to give directly into the account, no?
Yes, government should give instruction, because see, funding has to happen from banks only. So government should issue a GO like that. Then the banks will start looking at financing. Otherwise, the manager will not put his paper at all.
Vijay garu, it is more than 1 month. We told government that it has to be a mandatory, obligatory on the part of banks to support MSMEs. We have been talking for last 40 days. We are screaming. We have had more than 25, 30 Zoom calls. It's not happening. So this is something, you know, you are attending a meeting when we are all frustrated. So we have to go to next level. Girdhar garu, meere cheppali frustration tarvata em untundo.
Yeah, I know. The situation is very dire. It's in a horrible situation right now. And, you know, we are all talking about idealistic kind of a solutions. But it is not working on the ground. Bottom line is not working on the ground.
And as I said,
government is insensitive. I'm not talking about the political bureaucracy, but at political.
Yeah, and
Sir,
as I
in
said,
GST, they can issue circulars. Just like that every day. We have to bombard the Department of Industry and MSME sector to issue such circulars to the bank immediately. If thousand such emails go and sit on that, definitely they will act.
I doubt if government has authority.
Individually, it should go, not collectively to any organization.
No, RBI is involved here. Government will not instruct the banks directly.
Ledo, please, Girdhar garu. Again, we are going back to the point one, Andy. Point is clear. Bank is a commercial organization. Yeah. They have a stock called cash. They are dealing in cash. They borrowed from Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they cannot lose their money. My point is very clear that government has to guarantee them. That's very clear. There's no other thing. And we have to sensitize. And finally, I think let us summarize this and kindly summarize this, stating that if it is not now, it is never, boss. I'm telling you, hundreds of units will close. It will become Herculean task to reopen. And where are you going to export? Where are you going to be self-reliant? Again, you have to import from small countries like Nepal and Sri Lanka, if you are not doing now. So let them reopen, let them open their eyes, and then let them not see actually government should have a strong desire and objective that, just as you said, COVID has to be zero. I don't want any unit to close. So let them have that motto or objective or slogan that, you know, none of the units should be closed because of COVID. That's it.
Yeah.
I think Girdhar, I think we should call it.
Yeah, we'll call it. What we'll do is, I think if Madam can, you know, tabulate this and send it, we'll circulate it. I think that's a better option now.
And I've got some new few points have come. Very good points today.
Yeah.
What are the new points?
Madam, you want to list out?
Some new points have come. 3 or 4 very new points have come. In addition to what? In addition
Madam,
to whatever.
Madam, you have to unmute it. Yeah. Please stop.
One is about the fact that the workforce cannot be at 33% because it is based on the industry and the processes. That we cannot agree to that, or we'll have to kind of guarantee or assure the government that necessary measures would be taken by their respective industry. That is one. And then LCs and BGs getting devolved is one more that has come up now. One more good point was this, since banks are not cooperating in following the guidelines by the government and RBI, we are thinking of putting forth our request for direct payments to the MSME accounts. And I have put in a small point in the chat mentioning that maybe the respective banks can certify the sanction limits. Certification, they don't lose anything, based on which the government can transfer to our accounts, something like that.
Yeah, that's a small thing, and that's only the process actually.
One more thing is about essential services. Somebody had pointed out that we cannot have this temporary labor issues for essential services, wherein we need to have full workforce, while again simultaneously assuring that we would take necessary precautions.
Yes, ma'am.
And timeline is very important. Yeah, timeline is important, we said. And most importantly is the cash crunch now. We need to first survive this particular crisis, and then we can, we should think of next step is the sustenance part. So it's not enough if we survive. It is also important that we are able to sustain post the crisis.
Girdhar garu, it is mandatory or it is obligatory on the banks to give, whether they give direct money or whether from the government is the main point which we are talking now. They have to identify all the current assets as valid current assets set to be certified by the company and the chartered accountant if required. And when is that money coming? Ilanti 4-5 points I'll write and then we'll send it. So let us see, because
Again,
we'll have to,
that is an issue.
because
How
because
many
we'll have to
chartered
look.
accountants will come and audit it?
Then self certify చేయండి.
That's the only alternative. Not
Yeah,
possible
banks can
for.
also certify, sir. Banks can also certify the sanction limits.
Yeah,
No,
Vijay,
I'm talking
you
of
won't
current
certify?
assets.
Okay.
Vijay, will you go to a unit and certify?
I don't think so, because you know, most of the, I mean, the problem also we should appreciate, MSME sectors, you know, where they are going to banks, there are issues with respect to their inventories, what they have submitted to the bank, receivables, what they have submitted to the bank also. So if that is the case, you know, as a chartered accountant, I don't go and certify all those things where there are
Yeah,
fictitious
Vijay
items.
yeah, Vijay garu, that is the
That
reason I
is
told
the
you.
60 to 70%,
No,
it is like that, sir. To be very
Correct.
honest, that's why the
No,
government
we
has
are,
amended the
sir.
Companies Act and introduced a new CARO for this year, where it is much more strict in terms of, you know, fund management.
Yeah, that is the reason I told Andy, it has to be self-certified by the owner or managing director of the company. Number one. Number two, every banks have been having stock audits and they have the last report. Number two. Number three, they can send some of their field officer and have a sort of cursory look. See, there has to be some sort of inspection also. So we are not telling no.
See, inspection and all again entails manager coming out and risking his life. I don't think that will happen now. So at least for next 2 months, let us forget about it. What I suggest is let them take for non-seasonal industries last 3 months inventory and you know, assume that that is the inventory level. Last 3 months data as that is the data's level, and then go ahead. You know, if self-certification is massively different, then it's a call that the banker will have to take. But for a seasonal one, obviously you'll have to look at the last season.
No, but in any case, what we are asking, that 25% ad hoc has to come. That is, there is no way that, you know, we should compromise on that.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy, thank you very much, everybody, and thanks, Girdhar Garu. It was a wonderful session, though,
Sure,
you know,
sir.
and we are really very productive.
Yeah, please, madam, you can
and
send us tabulated one.
AC,
Yes.
what you do, Anita, let us not make it too bulky also. కొన్ని repeat అని తీసేసి, let us make it very, very simple. But what all we talked today, it has to come.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Girdhar.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.